A brand new F-150 starts at over $46,000. That's a mortgage payment in some states. So when buyers found a used 2015 for $22,000 with clean paint and no rust showing, they thought they'd won. Ford had switched to an aluminum body that year. No more rust, that was the pitch. Lighter truck, better mileage, modern engineering. Here's what Ford didn't put in the brochure. The frame underneath is still steel. Every bolt holding that aluminum body to that steel frame is a chemical reaction waiting for its first wet winter. And the older generation, the 2004 through 2008 trucks, those have a frame problem that's been quietly totaling trucks for years while the odometer still looks fine. Frame replacement on a modern F-150 runs $10,000 to $15,000. On a truck worth $20,000, that's not a repair. That's a total loss with paperwork pending. Today we're covering the specific years where rot is the real risk, the science behind why it happens, and the years that actually hold up. Because the market already knows which trucks are rotting. The question is whether you do before you write the check. Ford called the 11th generation frame a revolution. Fully boxed rails, meaning the frame was enclosed on all four sides instead of open at the bottom like previous generations. More rigid, better towing, stronger platform. That was the engineering case. What the engineers didn't fully solve was drainage. A C-channel frame, the open design Ford used before, lets water and road salt fall out. A fully boxed frame holds it in. Moisture gets inside the rail through small gaps at seams and mounting points. It carries road salt and fine sand with it. Once it's in, it stays. The inside of the rail rusts from the inside out, and you can't see it from underneath without cutting metal. By the time there's visible rust on the outside of the frame, the inside has already been compromised for years. NHTSA structural integrity complaints for the 2004 through 2006 model years are among the highest logged for this generation. These weren't complaints about squeaks and rattles. Owners were reporting frame perforations, cracked rails, and structural failures on trucks that looked fine from 20 feet away. 2 inspection points consistently get skipped during a pre-purchase walkthrough. The first is the rear undercarriage, specifically the spare tire winch mount, that bracket behind the rear bumper that holds the spare tire cable mechanism. It's a cup that collects standing water every time it rains. Repair or replacement on a seized winch assembly runs several $100s, and that's before you address what the standing water did to the surrounding frame metal. The second is the underside of the truck directly behind the rear axle, specifically the rear crossmember. It's tucked up high enough that most buyers never look at it, and it traps moisture against the frame rail on both sides. One owner, a contractor who works out of the Midwest, found a 2005 at a Michigan dealer. Clean interior, newer tires, engine ran strong. He drove it home, put about 6 months of work on it, then lifted it for a brake job. The rear frame rail had a hole large enough to fit his fist through. The seller hadn't lied about the mileage or the service history. The rot had simply been invisible from any angle a casual buyer would check. That's the trap with these trucks. The engine might genuinely have life left in it. The cab might be tight. The transmission might shift clean. But the frame is the foundation, and a strong engine sitting on a rotted frame is just a more expensive parts donor. The steel frame era is the problem most experienced buyers already know to watch for. What most buyers don't know is that Ford's supposed fix in 2015 didn't eliminate rot. It created a different kind, and it's harder to catch before you've already handed over your money. Ford's pitch for the 2015 F-150 was straightforward. Aluminum body panels mean no rust, a lighter truck, and better fuel economy. It was a genuine engineering achievement. The body weight dropped by about 700 pounds. Payload ratings went up. Fuel economy improved. For buyers in dry climates, the aluminum body delivered exactly what Ford promised. For buyers in Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and anywhere, road salt is a winter staple, The aluminum body traded one problem for a quieter, more deceptive one. The issue is called galvanic corrosion. Here's what that means in plain terms. When two different metals sit against each other in the presence of moisture and salt, they generate a small electrical current between them. That current has to go somewhere, so it moves through the weaker metal. On the 2015 through 2017 F-150, the weaker metal is the aluminum body panels. The steel fasteners and steel inner structure are the stronger material. So the aluminum slowly sacrifices itself, breaking down from the inside of the joint outward. What you see on the truck surface isn't red-brown rust, it's white, powdery residue along the body seams and paint that starts to bubble slightly at the edges of doors and panels. That's what makes this harder to catch than traditional frame rot. With a rusted steel frame, the warning signs are visible and obvious. With galvanic corrosion on an aluminum body, you're looking for paint that seems slightly soft near the door edges, or a tailgate corner that looks like it has a small blister forming under the finish. Most buyers walk right past it. The specific failure points Ford hadn't fully engineered around in those first 3 model years follow a predictable pattern. Along the bottom edge of every door, where the aluminum outer skin wraps around and meets the steel inner door structure, mechanics call this the door hem flange. That seam is exactly the kind of dissimilar metal junction where galvanic corrosion starts. At the rear of the truck, the tailgate corners collect moisture and salt spray directly. Underneath the bed, the mounting brackets where the aluminum bed meets the steel frame rails are another hot spot. Under the hood, the front suspension towers put aluminum in direct contact with steel, and heat cycles from the engine accelerate the reaction. Door latch failures in the 2015 and 2016 model years generated significant NHTSA complaint volume, and those failures weren't random manufacturing defects. Latches were freezing shut in cold weather because moisture was getting into corroded housings and expanding when temperatures dropped. Some owners reported doors popping open while driving. That's a body integrity complaint rooted directly in the aluminum transition problems Ford hadn't sorted out yet. When a door skin on one of these trucks needs replacing, it isn't a standard body shop repair. Aluminum requires different tools, different welding techniques, and technicians who know how to work with it without warping the panel. Shops that specialize in aluminum repair are fewer, and their labor rates reflect that. Replacing a single corroded door skin can run $2,000 to $3,000 in labor before you've bought any parts. Fleet operators in northern states figured this out faster than retail buyers did. Municipal and commercial fleets that took on 2015 and 2016 F-150s pulled them from cold weather rotations ahead of schedule. These operators make decisions based on maintenance cost per mile, not brand loyalty. When a truck starts generating repair bills that don't fit the spreadsheet, it comes out of rotation. The 2015 and 2016 models came out of rotation early. The aluminum body didn't solve Ford's rotee problem. It changed what rots, changed where it starts, and made it significantly harder to see before you've already signed the paperwork. The 2011 through 2014 model years are where the data consistently points for buyers who want a steel body F-150 without the frame drainage disaster of the earlier generation. Ford had improved both the factory undercoating application and the frame's drain hole placement by the time the 12th generation hit its stride. Water still gets on these trucks. The difference is it has somewhere to go. The 2014 deserves specific attention. It's the final year of steel body construction, which means it carries none of the galvanic corrosion risk we just covered. It also represents the most refined version of that generation's platform. The 5.0 Coyote VA8 had been in production long enough that early software and hardware issues were sorted. The 6-speed automatic transmission that gave owners headaches in 2011 and 2012 had been recalibrated. You're getting the last and most debugged version of a generation Ford spent 4 years improving. Fleet operators ran these trucks hard, and the maintenance logs from those fleets show why the 2014 consistently appears on the short list for buyers who do their homework. For buyers who want a modern aluminum body truck, the 2018 through 2020 range is where Ford corrected the mistakes that defined 2015 through 2017. They added proper insulation barriers between dissimilar metals at every major contact point. The bimetallic separation that was essentially missing or inadequate in the first aluminum years became standard practice by 2018. Door latch failures dropped. Body integrity complaints dropped. The NHTSA complaint volume for these years reflects a truck that had its transition problems resolved rather than deferred. Municipal and commercial fleets that pulled the early aluminum trucks from cold weather service did not abandon the F-150 platform. They waited, evaluated the 2018 refresh, and came back. Fleet purchasing decisions run through procurement offices that track cost per mile, downtime hours, and repair frequency. When those operators standardized on 2018 and newer trucks for northern routes, they were confirming with real operational data what the complaint numbers already suggested. Geography still overrides everything else on this list. A 2015 F-150 from Phoenix with 90,000 miles has never seen a salted road. A 2015 from Cleveland with the same mileage has spent 5 winters soaking in brine. The listing price might be identical. The financial reality underneath is not. Before you ask for a Carfax, ask where the truck spent its winters. That single question is worth more than any inspection checklist. 3 checks you can run in any driveway before calling a mechanic. Run a finger slowly along the bottom edge of each door, right where the panel folds under. Bubbling paint or a soft spot under the finish means moisture has already gotten into that seam. Get under the rear of the truck and tap the frame rails with the handle of a screwdriver, that long steel beam running the length of the undercarriage. Solid steel returns a sharp ring. Roti returns a dull thud, and you'll know the difference immediately. Pull the spare tire down and look at the winch cable mount on the rear undercarriage. White powder or flaking around that bracket is galvanic corrosion doing exactly what it does at every other aluminum to steel contact point on the truck. If you already own one of these trucks, rubberized spray undercoating is not your friend. It seals moisture against the metal underneath a shell that looks solid from outside. Oil-based coatings like fluid film or wool wax work differently. They penetrate into seams and push moisture out rather than trapping it in. Applied annually before winter, they're the difference between a truck that holds its value and one that quietly deteriorates while looking fine in the driveway. 2 separate ROT problems. 2 separate ERAs. The 2004 through 2008 box frame trap, where moisture gets in and stays. The 2015 through 2017 galvanic corrosion era, where aluminum meeting steel in a salt environment creates a slow chemical failure that's easy to miss until it's expensive to fix. The years that hold up are the 2011 through 2014 trucks for steel simplicity and the 2018 through 2020 trucks for corrected aluminum construction. Find out where the truck lived before you find out what's under the hood. Rust is the one failure you can't fix with a part swap. An engine rebuild has a finish line. A rotted frame is a total loss waiting on paperwork. That same 2016 F-150 lists for $4,000 to $6,000 more in Texas than in Ohio. The market already knows what we just covered. If you've dealt with frame rot or aluminum corrosion on your F-150, drop your experience below. Year, state, and what it cost you. That information helps every buyer watching this.